Happy to be retired. And I feel the same way. So Gaddy, I know, the wonderful things that you've said. Yeah, I certainly feel them. And I really appreciate, all the freedom that you've given me in the job, to do the job. But there are some things that I want to say here. Because we've all stood here and we've heard the messages from retirement speeches, over the years, right? We can all recite what's going to be said, what a great life it's been at Edison, the great people, the great times, and all those are true. But so many of you know me so much better than that. So you're thinking, oh, here it comes. Because those of you who know me know that I'll speak my mind, like Vero and Gaddy both said. I don't hold back. But please know that it's because I very, very much believe in what Martin Luther King said when he said, our lives begin to end the day we begin to become silent about the things that matter. And we all matter. People matter. And by the way, if your response to Black Lives Matter is all lives matter, you really don't get it. So I do hope that folks understand that what I'm talking about here, especially the people here matter, our customers matter. And I want to make sure that folks understand that as well. So I want to challenge you because folks who think that I don't hold back have no idea how much I've been holding back all these years. Unless you're a professional woman of color, who also happens to be lesbian, you really, really have no idea. And for those of you in that community, you know. So what I want to say is that it's a different perspective to what we normally hear at these events. And I want to provide some of that for you. I want to provide some challenges. I especially want to provide some challenges because I know that you're ready to accept them. So has it been a great run here at Edison? Absolutely. I feel so grateful for it. I feel like I won the lottery. How I met my wife at Edison. And Laura, the best thing about retirement is going to be when on Sunday nights we say good night instead of goodbye. I'm so looking forward to that. And part of the reason, by the way, that I'm dressed like this because I was wearing a t-shirt earlier, my Chapulín Colorado t-shirt. But I had to change because I'm going to be introducing Laura tonight at an award ceremony, at a dinner, where she's going to be receiving the Mary V. Orozco Abriendo Caminos Award that's given by the Latina Lawyers Bar Association for her mentorship and activism. Makes me proud. I get to brag about her tonight. The Mary V. Orozco Award is basically the Latina Badass Award. And it's going to be awarded by 300 Latina attorneys from Southern California, from Southern California. Which, by the way, is 300 more Latina lawyers than we have at Edison, so we have to get on that. It's true. We have to get on that. But it's the kind of work outside of Edison that you get to do because of the job here. And the job that Laura has, the job that I have, allows us to do so much more. But it's always just been a job. And I hope it is just a job for you here because you have to have life outside of Edison if we're going to do our job right. I hope you all know that. Plus, I can't imagine censoring myself or compartmentalizing myself any more than I already have for Edison. And you might think, what's she talking about? I invite you to read 2 books, Shonda Rhimes' Year of Yes, and Keith White's Good Is Not Enough. Both of those books are a variation on what I'm talking about here today. So I do have some challenges for you. Challenge number 1, let's do a better job on diversity. To surprise no one that I'm saying that. But if you're an executive and have never hired a woman of color, you're not trying hard enough. And it's not just the hiring manager's job, it's also the employee's job. If you're not seeing diversity in your AOR, challenge your manager. Get out and help find people, recruit them, cultivate them, so that we can have a more diverse workforce. You know, in the last few weeks, I've heard different versions of, who'll speak up in your place? Who will provide the perspective that you do? You think differently than most. We're gonna miss that bullshit. If we're serious about that, we'd have more people doing it already. So I hope that happens, because it absolutely has to. And I challenge us to care. I challenge us to give a damn about that. As Shonda Rhimes says, it's not about diversity, it's about normalizing. Mary Robinette said, it's not about adding diversity for the sake of diversity, it's about subtracting homogeneity for the sake of realism. This, what we have at Edison, isn't real. In this room, it happens to be, which I'm very happy about because these are my friends. But overall, the company overall, we don't have that. And what Pedro said today was very welcome. At an officers meeting just last week, he talked about a commitment to diversity, which is the first time in 7 years that I've heard that from the top person in this company. We have a lot of catching up to do. But I am so grateful to Pedro for doing that, for saying that. And I just hope it doesn't take a long time. President Obama pledged this month that we were going to get to Mars by the 2030s. Sure as hell hope that we don't take longer to reflect our customer base than we take to colonize another planet. That's not to say there aren't great people here at Edison, right? There are great people here at Edison, absolutely. And I really want to thank those of you in my AORs who've taught me so much. Folks that I've mentored who have also taught me so much. And I'm really flattered when folks say, oh, you're amazing, right? Until I realize that really they're saying you're amazing for real basic things like you're so down to earth. Part of it is because there's so much distance between executives and everyone else, right? And we tend to blame it on our hierarchical structure. But I really think it's because some of us have real problems just relating to people, and it worries me. We have a real social deficit. And it worries me because if we can't relate to each other, how the hell are we going to relate to our customers? How are we going to do well by them? And we sometimes become so immersed in what we're doing that we forget that our problems are not our customers' problems. And yet we want so much to be loved by them, to remind them of the good that we do. And we don't always understand why they don't remember what we're doing or why we're doing it or why they don't love us for it. And it kind of reminds me of the creepy guy who gives you a compliment and then doesn't understand when you don't want to go out on a date. So I'll call out challenge number 2 in a way that you'll remember. Don't be the creepy guy. Know that the world does not revolve around us and that we do not have the answer to everything. I'm really glad that we're finally seeing some strides being made in that area. I really do think our new leadership is moving in that direction, and I urge you all to follow and to embrace it even more. But we really do need to let go some of our subject matter expert arrogance and shields and consider approaches that are different on routine matters. Have there also been great times at Edison? Sure. The adrenaline rush that you get from a really good teamwork during crisis management, we've all experienced that during ICS. It feels good, especially if you're an adrenaline junkie. But really, crisis management, I feel like I got my PhD here. If we were really excellent, we wouldn't have so many crises. If we were really excellent, we wouldn't be committing as many self-inflicted wounds as we have over the last 5 years especially. Let's get it right. So challenge number 3, let's do a better job. Appeal to your better self, to that person that you want your child to be proud of. And this has nothing to do with our pathological aversion to risk, which we conveniently blame on how highly regulated we are. I think it has everything to do with people just not doing their job, not looking beyond their job, not knowing the context in which they're operating, being afraid of what people might think. Just do the right thing, man. That's what we need to focus on. Don't take the hedgehog approach. If we really want to do well by our customers, by our colleagues, by our shareholders, we should be intellectually curious enough to think critically of the issues at hand and to do something about them. That is absolutely necessary. And we need to take action. Stop with the hand-wringing. You know the Homeland Security slogan, see something, say something? My challenge number 4. As Chris Thompson would say, see something, do something. Because unless you work with dangerous equipment or dangerous substances as opposed to working with words and numbers like most of us do in the GO, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe a do-over, maybe start over, God forbid, learn something? I really encourage you to be biased toward action. Because as anyone in LPA can tell you, you can ask yourself 2 questions to know whether or not it was worth the risk. Did anybody get hurt? Did anyone die? And I don't mean to trivialize safety, but really, what we do with words and numbers is nothing compared to what our linemen are doing out there. What the hell is stopping us from doing the right thing? So there you have it, 4 challenges. Number 1, let's do a better job on diversity and reflecting our customers. Number 2, don't be the creepy guy. Don't think that our customers care about our problems that we have, the problems that we have serving them. Just fix the problems. Number 3, appeal to your better self and stop with the self-inflicted wounds. Let's just all do our job. And finally, see something, do something. Have a bias toward action, not toward hand-wringing. Like I said earlier, I say all of this con cariño, because I know many of you are ready to embrace it. Because it's easy to say, not my circus, not my monkeys, and walk away, or turn away. I'd rather say, not my circus, not my monkeys, not my circus, not my monkeys, because my monkeys fly. Those of you who are most interested in learning the secrets of flying monkeys will be getting my contact information. Otherwise,